I don't know why you're surprised by
It's
that.
just no, it's just catchy. I love it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Babble and Bullshit, the Nerdcast, a podcast about all things nerdy, and we talk about whatever the fuck we want because we're the ones with the microphones.
That's true.
I'm Lilith.
I'm Will. Hi.
Sorry, we have been absent for a while. Will had a family thing and then a work thing, and I had a vacation.
And if you want to hear all about Lil's vacation, we just posted an episode about that.
Yeah, I went to Galaxy's Edge, and it was super.
So much better than what I did. But
It's a lot better than what you did.
that's true.
But yeah, so sorry we have been gone. Things just didn't line up with our schedules to be able to do this. We may have to start trying to figure out how to do this virtually because me coming down here has become an issue, apparently.
We could do it. We could figure it out.
Yeah, I need to get a new computer.
I did that. So
Yeah, I needed like a whole ass new laptop.
yeah. Well, I'd say you can have one of mine, but like that one doesn't work. This one is
Constantly-
attempting to die.
It's constantly hot.
Yeah.
All I have right now is my iPad, and I don't think that will support.
It actually would, but we can get,
We'll figure it out. Anyway, because that way we can record during the week at some point if we need to.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, we should probably try to figure that out.
Yeah. I'm going to edit this whole part out.
Nah, don't do that. Anyway, so yeah, we are going to be talking about season 1 of The Mandalorian. I love this fucking show. It's a goddamn masterpiece.
It is, Star Wars aside,
Yeah.
it is just brilliantly written and made television.
Well, and it's just proof that you don't need fucking Jedi and laser swords.
Yeah.
Like you can have a story about anything and it be, exciting and entertaining.
Yeah. And that's kind of the beauty of it. There's no real reason. Most movie franchises focus on main characters.
Yeah.
There's no real reason for it to do that. Star
Right.
Wars especially is so broadly populated with so many people that there's no reason for that. It has to focus on just the Skywalkers or just Obi-Wan or just the main characters.
Yeah.
It can branch out to anyone they want, and The Mandalorian is brilliant proof of that.
Absolutely.
Because we don't meet anyone basically until halfway through season 1 who appeared anywhere else in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
But I would like to mention the right at the beginning of Mandalorian, the writers and the production team did something that a lot of movies and TV shows fail to do. They correctly used armor.
Yes.
In the first 5 minutes, the Mandalorian gets shot in his armor. He doesn't try to dodge. He actually brings his armor up to take the hit.
Yep.
I'm a big old nerd. We do this podcast. That should.
I was gonna say, I'm like, yeah.
That yeah.
That would.
Yeah. I'm a big old nerd.
I don't know
Armor
if
is
you knew that this is called the Nerdcast, my guy.
Armor is supposed to get hit. That's the point of it. It's supposed to protect you. Just as an example. Yeah. As a fun example, knights in plate armor could take horrific amounts of punishment.
Yeah, they
and be
could,
okay.
man. Yeah.
Because the armor was built that way. That was
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
Which, again, begs the question that we've asked a million times. Why is Stormtrooper armor basically useless?
Well, because it's made of PVC.
Yeah. It's styrofoam. Yeah.
It's just PVC piping. That's all it is.
Yeah. But he takes the hit in the armor.
Yeah, he does.
This is one. The Mandalorian. Din Djarin is a character in itself. Din Djarin is in his armor is an entirely different character.
Mm-hmm.
The armor is part of the character.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see his face, but it doesn't matter. That helmet style,
Yeah.
the way he moves, the way he talks,
Mm-hmm.
that gives you the character right there.
Yeah.
and the armor is part of that. And the fact they did that right is genius.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Also, I love that his initial armor is dirty and unpolished.
Yeah.
And looks like he's been using it.
Because he has.
Yeah.
For a while. So he's a bounty hunter.
Bring in warm, bring in cold. Most of this podcast is going to be Lil just kind of making noises whenever Pedro Pascal comes up.
Look, that man literally said in an interview that his Mandalorian voice is his bedroom voice. And I'm like, sir, you can't say things like that and then expect me not to go, okay, but can you prove it? Because I'm going to need you to.
So the Mandalorian basically starts with the introduction of the bounty hunter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He meets squirrely little fish dude.
He is a squirrely little fish dude.
He is.
That's a great way to put it. He's a squirrely little fish dude.
And then, of course, tries to bribe him.
Yeah, of course he does.
Clearly, you cannot bribe the Mandalorian.
No.
Then we get out to Brian Posehn driving the speeder, which is the greatest cameo in TV history, by the way.
I love him.
He's an incredible comedic actor and a brilliant stand-up.
Yeah,
and when I saw him, I was like,
yeah.
is that Brian Posehn?
I've seen Brian Posehn. I've seen him do stand-up.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he came to Dayton long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was the most random thing. I was like,
so
yeah, I'm going to go
funny.
see Brian Posehn.
Yeah, he's so funny. And he pops up as the speeder driver, but right away we get Mando does not like droids.
He doesn't trust droids.
Yeah, we find out why later.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. His reason is pretty fucking
legit.
solid.
It's
yeah.
pretty legit. Yeah.
And we meet his ship.
The Razor Crest.
I gotta say, first time I saw it, my very first thought was, it looks like Serenity. But I'm
shiny.
This is the Nerdcast. If you didn't want crossover jokes, you're in the wrong place.
It does look a little like Serenity.
A little
bit. Yeah. I could see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
For one split second.
The Razor Crest is so pretty.
It is a wonderful design.
It's such a cool looking ship.
Yeah. It's such a great design.
Yeah.
I did love that finally someone mentioned on a sci-fi TV show that a spaceship had a bathroom. Which does not get brought up terribly often. Random
People
moment.
pee in fucking TV shows?
Random moment. In Star Trek The Next Generation, there's a door on the bridge that is not... So if you're facing the back of the bridge set where Worf's little horseshoe console is,
Yeah.
to the left is the door they always go through to go to the conference room.
Yes.
Directly across from that is another door that's we see in passing, but it's never focused on.
Is it the bathroom?
That it actually says head on the yeah. That was actually part of it, but they never clearly it's not a functioning door. It's just a like a prop.
Yeah.
But it actually says ahead because that's what the bathroom would be.
Yeah, that's so funny. That is so funny.
And I did love that he had several bounties frozen in carbonite on his ship.
Yeah.
Clearly, Han was not the first person dropped into that.
No. Well, I mean, and this is 5 years after the fall of the Empire.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been a minute. Others have heard of it, sure, but this is not. I think we were meant to think in that moment in Jedi that it was, or in Empire. Sorry, I was thinking, in Empire that this was something that they just kind of came up with on the fly, and it wasn't really.
Well, and we actually saw it in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So.
Which great episode. By the way.
Wonderful episode.
So cool.
Anakin was so mad at Ahsoka because she was just like,
that doesn't actually.
And he goes, "Hey, Ahsoka." She's like, "Hey, Master," and he's just like, "What the fuck?"
Well,
That's one of
Anakin
my
being
favorite
mad
moments.
at Ahsoka doesn't really narrow down which episode it was.
No. But it was just a very funny episode because she's just like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's just like, "The fuck are you doing here?" She's like,
I mean,
surprise?
can't be mad at me because I'm already here. Isn't like you tell me to go home. Like,
Whoopsie doodle.
I don't know how this happened. I went to
That's
bed.
so
and
weird. But Anakin can't be too mad because like he also was a non-traditional Jedi goblin,
Yeah.
and he was just teaching Ahsoka well. That's all.
Jedi goblin.
Obi-Wan was trying to be a good Jedi, and then Anakin and Ahsoka are both just like, "Yo, we're gonna fuck shit up." And Obi-Wan's like, "God damn it, what have I done?"
So we get Mando off to this tiny little like mud hole of a colony
Yes.
where we meet the guy in charge of the local bounty hunter guild. The unfortunately now recently passed away.
R.I.P. Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
I was so sad.
He's a brilliant performer. And just I mean, he was Chubbs and Happy Gilmore. Come on. Like
Chubbs. And he was Apollo Creed.
Yep. Yeah, that's obviously the iconic one, but like
Yeah, I don't like Rocky, so I don't really care. But
yeah.
yeah, he was Chubbs.
But so he's Grief Karga.
Grief Karga was amazing. R.I.P. Grief Karga.
And he plays that character so brilliantly.
So good.
But also, playing off the Mandalorian's just like basically the Mandalorian is the world's greatest straight man. Like he is the greatest comedic straight man in the history of ever.
Yeah.
Because he has no reaction to anything.
Yeah.
He's just deadpan at all
Yeah,
times.
black and white.
And there's Grief Karga, like, trying to be friendly and crack jokes. Mandalorian's just nothing.
Nothing.
Giving him just like...
It doesn't help that he has a helmet on.
Sure, but like, you don't hear him chuckle. You don't, like, he just sits there like a statue.
Yep.
There was a brief moment watching the very first episode where I thought to myself, how cool of a twist would it be if the Mandalorian turned out to be a droid? Like, clearly they're not going to do that.
No.
But it would have been cool.
It would have been funny.
And then the Mando goes off on his big quest to find... Basically, he's given the Imperial Remnant gives him a bounty for something. Won't tell him what.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and find it. Bring it back. Basically, that's not weird for a Mandalorian. He goes out there. I gotta say, getting attacked by the big creatures that the Jedi rode on Ryloth, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
I enjoy being surprised.
Yeah.
That was an interesting surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I also love the fact that he's not the greatest hand-to-hand fighter.
No.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, no, I think that's what makes that hero's journey even better for him, because he is not a perfect warrior.
He's a great shot.
He's a great shot. He is amazing with his blaster, and that's what the Mandalorians are really good with anyway, are their blasters.
Well, he demonstrates that in the first 5 minutes where he shoots the door control.
Yeah.
To have it slam shut and cut a dude in half.
Yeah, but their, hand to hand is not always top tier.
Yeah. Again, this goes back to the armor thing, though. Like, he gets punched in the face. You're going to break your...
That's going to fucking hurt.
You're going to break your hand.
Yeah.
He's going to be mildly annoyed.
Yeah. He's going to be like, the ringing.
Yeah.
Because Beskar is, it's a metal that is really not able to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, it can be melted down, but that is it. Like, it cannot be destroyed.
Lightsabers can't cut through it. Like,
No.
Yeah.
Like, that is why Beskar is so important for the Mandalorians, especially since they had so many little tiffs with the Jedi.
Yeah. Yes. Squabbles, if you will.
little squabbles. They had their little tiffs.
Yeah. These really nothing major.
Yeah, it was small little things that there may have been like a war or two. It's fine.
It's Oh God, brain fart. Little dude that he meets on. My brain just stopped working.
That happens often.
Yeah, it's actually more surprising when it works. But
I'm definitely more shocked when you're like, I can do things. I'm like, what?
yeah, 9 times out of 10 when I think I can do things, I end up being wrong. Just saying. So usually in these we cover like the big episode events. I want to dive more into the big events of season 1, which
Okay.
we do have to cover. That he meets Grogu, obviously.
The cutest little baby ever.
Okay, first of all, I really hated that everyone was calling it Baby Yoda.
But
It's
there was
clearly
no
not Baby Yoda. This is
it's-
after Yoda.
Yeah, it's way after Yoda, but at the same time, we don't know Yoda's species.
Which that's always bothered me too. By the way,
So yeah,
like
because George is like, you will never know.
George, just make up a name. We'll just whatever you tell us it is, we'll believe
This
you.
motherfucker knows. He just doesn't want to tell anybody. You know that motherfucker knows.
Of course he does. Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
just like, that's my secret.
Well, now that he's in charge, hey Dave Filoni, you can make up a name.
right. Yeah, so I understand why everybody called it Baby Yoda, because there was really no other.
And he beats IG-88,
Yeah.
which probably my. We always called Jar Jar a bumblefuck when we talk about
Yeah.
episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
If there were a droid version of the bumblefuck,
Jesus.
it'd be me. I'm just over here breaking shit. If there were a droid version of the bumblefuck, it's IG-88.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Basically, he sees anything, and if it's not something that he is part of his mission, he just shoots it.
He's like,
No second thought. Like, and the poor Mandalorian is fighting alongside IG-88, fighting off all these fucking mercenaries, and IG-88's like, well, there's a lot of them. I think I'll blow myself up now.
yeah.
Good plan.
Voiced by Taika Waititi.
Yes. I will say he's not my favorite director. I get why people love him as a director. Absolutely respect that.
I love him.
Yeah, totally respect it.
Yeah.
It's just his style's not for me.
Yeah, no,
but
that's fair.
I actually really do enjoy him as a voice and live performance actor.
Yeah.
That movie Free Guy, he played a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
He was goofy and ridiculous, exactly what the villain of that movie needed to be.
Yeah.
It's great.
I absolutely love him. I think he's hilarious. What We Do in the Shadows is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my
That
entire
one,
life.
yes, that is my exception. I do love that one.
It's so goddamn funny, and it has Jermaine Clement, who I have a massive crush on. So, because I adore Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's because you have taste.
that's true. Yeah. I do. Yeah. But I personally love him, and I mean, he did the 2 best Thor movies, in my personal opinion.
We'll talk about that later. 'Cause-
Look, Ragnarok is a fucking masterpiece. You shut your whore mouth.
So the Mandalorian
Anything is going to be
finds-
better than Thor 2.
That's setting the bar real low.
Exactly. The bar is in hell after Thor 2.
So the Mandalorian finds Grogu. I do love the idea of him. So the Mandalorians have this idea of foundlings, orphan children who aren't Mandalorian to become Mandalorian.
Yeah. So original Mandalorians were actually born on Mandalore.
Yeah.
And there are still, well, not now because Mandalore is glass.
Yeah.
But
The Empire was not nice to them.
no.
To anyone, but
Right.
particularly kind of dickish to the Mandalorians.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
But
why would the Empire want to wipe out the best most
I feel like
warlike
those
world
are
in the
people that-
galaxy?
I feel like those are the people that you want to bring over to your side.
Yeah. Well, as we find out later,
Anyway.
they tried.
Yeah.
And the Mandalorians weren't having it. So the
Yeah,
Empire
they
went,
were
okay,
like,
fine. So we're just gonna bomb you. Okay.
But the planet was originally founded by a humanoid reptile named Mandalore, hence the name of the planet. And anyone born on Mandalore were Mandalorians. They were raised to be warriors. They were raised basically constantly in war. Eventually, it expanded out onto the moons and foundlings became a thing. So a lot of Mandalorians, took part in different wars. War against the Jedi, war with the Jedi, war against the Sith, war with the Sith. It was
They switched sides a lot.
They were just everywhere. They were
Yeah.
mercenaries. That's basically what they did. They just,
big. And this is actually going back to the old Old Republic games. They would generally pick the side that pitted them against the strongest enemy.
Yeah.
They wanted to fight against the strongest bad guy
because they wanted to prove that they were stronger. So that's what they did.
When they fought with the Sith Empire, they didn't do it to support the ideology of the Sith Empire.
Oh, no.
They wanted to fight the strongest enemy in the galaxy, and that was the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
There's an entire dialogue in the Old Republic video game where one of the characters, Canderous, basically explains that, the Mandalorians lost that war, but they lost it gloriously.
Yeah.
Like they're not mad about it. They don't hold a grudge. It was Revan who led the forces that defeated him, and we'll get into that. Mm-hmm. But the Mandalorians live for war. Mm-hmm. Always have.
Yep.
That's who they are.
Yep.
Which again, one of the main reasons why the Empire, tried to turn the planet into glass. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that coffee is hot.
You
Sorry.
Good?
Wow.
But anyway, early on, once Mandalore was founded by Mandalore the Destroyer, it completely revolved around battle and war, honor, pride, things like that.
Star Wars version of Klingons.
Kind of. Yeah. That's a really good comparison. If you're more of a Star Trek person, you can look at Mandalorians as, the Star Wars version of Klingons. That's because Klingons are the same thing. Like they thrive on war and battle and pride.
And personal honor is
honor. Like that's
critical.
Just,
yes. It very, very similar if you're more a fan of Star Wars or Star Trek. That's a good way to think about it, so this will make sense.
Yeah. So eventually, because they, did take part in so many battles and they helped take over a lot of planets, foundlings became a big part of the culture because there were a lot of children that ended up getting abandoned.
Or orphaned by war, yeah.
Yeah. So the Mandalorians would take in these children, raise them to become Mandalorians. Eventually, they would get their own armor. And that is why the Mandalorian culture has thrived and has gone on for so long. So, Din is actually a foundling. Mm-hmm. He was not born on Mandalore. He was, an orphan of war. He was taken in by the Death Watch, technically. Hence why he does not take off his helmet, because that is that side of the Mandalorian culture.
Yeah.
So there are different sides of the Mandalorian culture. So, for example, Bo-Katan Kryze, who is the sister of Satine Kryze, who used to be the ruler of Mandalore.
I thought you were going to say used to be Obi-Wan's girlfriend.
Well, Satine was Obi-Wan's girlfriend. Yes, that is true. And as far as I'm concerned, also is Obi-Wan's baby mama, because you cannot tell me Corky is not Obi-Wan's child.
Yeah, because
he looks like Obi-Wan without a fucking beard.
Yeah. Literally, the animator took Obi-Wan's face, made it a little bit smaller, took away the beard.
Exactly. Like, that is Obi-Wan's child. But Bo-Katan is part of the other side of it. They are allowed to take off their helmets. Din's does not. If you take off your helmet, you're no longer considered a Mandalorian.
Which that actually happens later in the story. But the big thing about the foundlings, and this is actually what starts his whole quest in the first season. The foundlings have to be orphaned, abandoned, fully abandoned. Mm-hmm. No one's seen Grogu's species.
Correct.
All they know is that Grogu is a Jedi in the heaviest air quotes possible.
Yeah. He is a Force user.
Yeah. So basically the rest of the Mandalorian covert assumes that the Jedi must be his people.
Yep.
And Din Djarin pledges to return Grogu to his people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, this is after the Empire has fallen. There's like basically no Jedi left.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
So he, takes on the bounty, basically, and takes Grogu, initially takes him to where he's supposed to, takes him to Werner Herzog, which is still one of the funniest fucking cameos I've ever seen in my life. I like, he showed up and I went,
yeah,
the fuck?
I want to hear.
Okay. I want to see the baby.
I want to hear that man just very slowly read nursery rhymes. Like, because somehow it would be terrifying.
Have you an evil? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full.
It would be amazing.
Werner Herzog is he's a guy.
He's very strange. He's a wonderful actor.
Oh, I love Werner Herzog.
He's a very strange man.
Very strange. Yeah.
It's him and Christopher Walken. Love them both, but God, they're weird.
Both phenomenal actors. I love Christopher Walken. He has such a good sense of humor about
really
himself,
does.
and I respect it
Absolutely
to no
does.
end. Like his entire SNL skit of everybody mimicking him was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life, and he kept a straight face the whole time.
Yeah,
so impressive. I'm like, dude, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah,
but he has such a good sense of humor, and I love it. And I think Werner Herzog also has a very good sense of humor about himself.
I've seen interviews with him, and honestly, he strikes me as a very well. He's not funny.
No,
he definitely has a sense of humor.
Yeah. He's very dry.
Yeah,
he's very dry. But I just like, he shows up, and I was like, what the fuck is Werner Herzog doing here?
Yeah.
So he's just like, hello. Well, I would like to see the baby.
Well, then
I'm like, okay, guy.
Then we get to the Mandalorian's big strength as a fighter. He takes out the 4 grungiest looking stormtroopers you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Well, and he initially was turning in Grogu.
Yeah.
Or the child, as he was known.
Yeah. Okay. Up to this point, we don't know his name.
Yeah. Because that was what he was supposed to do. Like, he was like, this is my job. But it's very clear he had fallen in love with this child, which I did too. When I tell you, I watched this episode and they showed that adorable little fucking face, I started sobbing because human children do nothing. Nothing for me. I see a baby and I'm like, that's an infant. That is a human baby.
You have correctly identified that as a baby. Good job.
You made it. Congrats. Congratulations on your fuck trophy. I don't care. Like, couldn't give a shit. I see baby animals, lose my shit. Lose my fucking shit. And apparently, baby puppets make me lose it too. Because I saw this baby and I just started weeping. I was like, it's so cute. And my partner's like, oh my God. I'm like, I want one. He's so cute. Look at his little nosy boop. I want his boop. I did the same thing with Baby Animal on the Electric Mayhem TV show that's on Disney Plus. Which, if you haven't watched that, you should, because it's really good. But also, Baby fucking Animal is one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my life.
There's also the connection for Din Djarin in that
he's a foundling.
He's a foundling that might still have his own people.
Yeah.
Din Djarin clearly did not.
Yeah.
So returning him to his people is never an option.
Yeah.
But Grogu might.
Yeah, so he wanted to be able to do that for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's impossible not to fall in love with that baby.
Yeah.
That baby's fucking cute.
Also
Granted, he's 50 years old, but
yeah. There's also
still a baby.
There's also the big this is one of the big story moments in season 1. Din Djarin gets attacked by basically a rhinoceros.
A rhino.
That's eaten all the steroids.
Yeah.
And he's losing that fight.
Bad.
Understandably.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a dinosaur-sized rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Until Grogu, he's at 50 years old, he's basically a toddler.
He is, yeah.
But
Tiny little bab.
But he remembers the Jedi Temple and training in the Jedi Temple, and he uses the Force to save Din Djarin.
And then he gets so tired and has to take a nap.
Yeah.
And it's every time he uses the Force, he gets so sweet. It's so cute. I'm fucking lose my mind because he like uses his little Force hando because somebody's messing with his Mando, and then suddenly he's just like, boop, just falls over and takes a nap. It's so fucking cute. You mess with the Mando, you get the Force hando, and then he's gonna take a nap.
I did absolutely love that their bond established immediately.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
He became very attached to Din.
And then
very
later
attached.
physically attached, because then we carry him around in a shoulder bag.
It was so cute. It was so cute. And that's honestly, that child is the only thing that has ever made Din laugh.
Yeah.
Because you hear him chuckle quite a few times.
Yeah.
Because he does something
because
fucking adorable.
he's the little ball on the control stick.
He's like, but it's his. It's his.
Then
Godzilla.
yeah. All right, so it might be February, but Ohio is having one of its like weird little like spring stroke moments.
It's like, is it spring? I don't know.
So
Don't get too excited, folks.
yes, no, but every plant within 2 miles is like, now? Oh. So my allergies like shit themselves for a day and a half.
When I woke up this morning and I saw the sun, I went, oh my God,
Yeah.
the sun.
That actually scares us here.
She is out.
Yeah.
What
she
is
seems angry.
what happened?
But then we get to the other great part about season one. And there are several that we're going to cover, but the other part is just the depth of secondary characters.
Mm-hmm.
We already mentioned Grief Karga, who is, at this point, you don't really know. Like, he's obviously friendly, but is he friend or foe? Is he... We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
We get to...
He's a good bean.
He is a good bean.
I love him.
We get to one of... A character I very much like, played by a performer that I very much do not.
Cara Dune.
Yeah. Cara Dune's a great character. Cara Dune is a great character.
Cara Dune is a very good
and
character.
we are not going to discuss the person playing
No.
Cara Dune
But
at
Cara
all.
Dune is a very good character.
The backstory
sad to
there...
see it go.
The backstory there is really interesting. Former, like a shock trooper for the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
She clearly has PTSD.
Just
like-
a little.
Yeah, but despite her PTSD, she sees Din Djarin caring for Grogu, and she doesn't want to be a part of that quest at first, but she's willing to help.
Yeah.
And that's also probably what, drove her to the rebellion in the first place, is that whole,
Yeah.
I do want to help.
Yeah, because we got the remnants of the fucking Empire.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, let it go.
I
need you to be like Elsa and let it go.
I mean,
Fuck me.
yeah, they struggle to hang on, and,
Like, please.
well, they do get some life breathed into them at the end of the Ahsoka, season 1 of Ahsoka, when, Thrawn comes back, but...
Look.
Because that'll wake up.
God, I'm so excited. I did in season 1 when they first meet Cara Dune and they're fighting out back. And Grogu just waddles up with his little cup of soup. And he's just like...
He's just watching the fight.
He just looks at both of them and they're both just like, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
he's just like, but first sippy sip. And I lost my mind. Again, I cried most of season 1 because he was so goddamn cute.
Well,
I couldn't deal with it. I'm like, I can't handle this baby.
He's painfully adorable.
He's so fucking cute. He's so goddamn cute. And there's this really great picture of George Lucas on set holding the baby.
Yeah.
And he's like looking at it and he's just like, you're a product of one of mine. I love this. It was very cute. I love that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni managed to get George on set, even though George is not supposed to like have anything to do with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And Dave Filoni's just like, bet.
Yeah. He's like, I can do whatever I want with this. Like, yeah.
This is my fucking show. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I please.
Yeah. There's basically the whole thing, the whole point, the whole like journey of season 1 for them is not finding the Jedi. It's developing their bond. Din is just following lead after lead, trying to get to a Jedi, which there are not many left.
Yeah.
Like, there are like what, a handful? Like several, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, the two that
They're
everyone...
kind of scattered.
Yeah. So getting any of them in one place...
There are 2 for sure that are trained.
Yes.
And
one of them is not actually a Jedi, but...
Correct. And then the others are kind of Force users that haven't really...
Yeah. Well,
done
actually...
much.
So...
And one is in a whole other galaxy. So.
Yeah. Well, there's also... 2 of them are not Jedi and were former Jedi.
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Balin.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole thing leads them to Moff Gideon.
Yes.
Basically, he's insane.
Giancarlo
is amazing.
Disgustingly good. I love that man.
Brilliantly talented actor.
He's so good.
And he plays Moff Gideon as erudite and refined.
And insane.
Batshit crazy. But he's almost charming.
Almost, yeah. But
And-
Giancarlo is also very good at playing that because the who he played in Breaking Bad, for example, was the same way. Very charming, very, intelligent, really good at his job, like very good at playing that. No, I just work in customer service.
Yeah.
I sell drugs on the side.
Yeah.
I also have killed a man with a box cutter.
Yeah.
Like, so he's very good at playing that very straight-laced, very refined person while covering up the fact that he is batshit crazy. And I fucking love it. I absolutely love that man.
We find out as the show goes on that basically Moff Gideon wants Grogu because Moff Gideon wants to basically breed a new generation of clones to replace the Dark Trooper droids.
Yeah. And that's a well-known thing throughout, the extended universe in the Empire is that they have been working on clones anyway. That's how we got the clone of Luke.
Yep. Which they distinguished by giving it 2 U's.
Luke. Sure. Why not?
Cool. Gotcha. Just call him Steve. Like,
Steve.
it would have been the same. Like, hey, Luke, this is your clone. Steve.
Right.
Done.
Right. Like Master Sabaoth was the same thing. Like Jairus Sabaoth. It was Jairus. It was 2 A's.
Yeah, they added a bunch of letters and like, cool.
Yeah.
Just cough mid name. That's how you get that.
Jairus Sabaoth. But that was something that they had been working on that was very, known throughout the Imperial remnants. And the reason they wanted Grogu specifically was because his, force ability was so high.
Yeah.
He was so powerful for being so teeny tiny little baby. He's a little baby.
So you guys listening don't know like I do, but they're generally very not that until Grogu comes up, and then they just turn into the giggliest human being you've ever seen.
He's so cute.
Like that.
He's so cute. I want to give him a boob. I want to give him a little boop on the nose. And like play with his little ears. He's so cute.
Good God.
Sorry. You knew this was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
It's going to be me giggling over Grogu and
Yeah.
drooling over Pedro Pascal. So.
100%. Now, up until this point, the Mandalorian hasn't taken his helmet off.
Correct.
Yeah.
He can only take it off when he is alone.
Yeah.
And it's to eat.
Yeah.
Basically.
And
bathe.
God, I would hope so. Like,
Kind of hard to bathe with that thing
You
on.
know, there's one person in the group who's like never taking it off except to like lift up a little bit to eat, and if he ever does, the smell alone would kill anyone around.
Whoever Jon Favreau played in like the third season, the big dude, that guy.
I do love that Jon Favreau just appears in everything he wants to appear in. Just fucking.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau.
We do then go to a familiar place. We take our journey to Tatooine.
Yeah.
And meet my favorite secondary character in this entire show. It's Amy Sedaris.
Oh, okay. I was like, Fennec Shand?
Amy Sedaris.
Okay, Amy Sedaris, yeah.
Playing the mechanic. She is, one, hysterically funny. It's Amy
Yes.
Sedaris.
I mean,
mean,
gosh, she's so good.
she's so funny.
Pelimato.
Thank you.
Yes.
And basically, she responds to Grogu the same way Lil does.
Like, oh, look at the baby.
Yeah, she's all about it. But she's also she's basically a thief of a mechanic. Like she's
Yeah. I mean, it's Tatooine. It's, you know,
she's phenomenal.
hive of scum and villainy.
Exactly. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She also has an old friend from the Star Wars universe with her.
Yeah.
Big Red.
R5.
Yeah. I mean,
Good old R5.
he had to go somewhere.
What a fucking coward.
Yeah. Well,
He's a scaredy cat.
he is. But the
We love him.
first time we meet R5 is actually in New Hope.
Yes.
Because he rolls forward, because he's the one they spin, and then he just fucking literally blows a gasket.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. We love R5.
yeah. R5
He's
is
such a scaredy cat.
he
I
is.
love it.
He's of all the droids, he is the one who's the most comic relief.
I love
Because
him.
and we get more of him in later
Later,
seasons.
yeah.
But yeah, she's got R5.
Yeah.
Love that little throwback.
Yes.
And then
and the mechanic droids, obviously, always nice to see.
yep, we get I absolutely, well, because they're hilarious.
Yeah.
But there's three of them,
Yeah.
and they're basically the Three Stooges in droid form. And there's actually a scene where they do kind of whack at each other like the Three
Yeah.
Stooges. For a
I think
second.
one of them like shuts into the little disc. It's very funny. They're very funny. And Amy Sedaris is just like, fucking goddamn.
Yes. Hey, knock it off.
She talks about dating a Jawa.
Yeah.
Like,
Hairy.
what?
Very furry.
Very furry.
But
What?
yeah.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
But you know
That
what?
was one of those lines where I'm like,
That
Huh?
line doesn't surprise me coming from Amy Sedaris,
oh,
though.
she's genuinely, she is my favorite comedic actor.
She's so funny. I've loved her since Strangers with Candy. So
Yep. I mean,
that's how I discovered Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. I remember Strange with the Candy when it was new. I was a kid. I was young.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was
But
young.
she's phenomenal. And in this
so
role,
funny.
she is very protective of Grogu. She
As she should be.
she
'cause
loves the baby.
He is a baby. Just a sweet little baby.
But at the same time, she's kind of a mercenary. So like, Din has to go off and get a bounty. He needs the money to fix the ship.
Yeah.
So she graciously said, "Well, I mean, I guess I could watch the baby."
I guess I'll watch the baby. Oh, no.
And then we meet Fennec Shan.
Who is a fucking badass.
Yes.
Ming-Na. Oh, my God.
Okay, first of all, incredible actress.
She's so cool.
If you haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., go watch that because basically she spends that entire show just kicking everyone she can find in the face, and it is lovely.
That's an accurate statement. Yeah. Yeah.
That's literally the show.
Who can I beat up?
Yeah, that's the show. It's a plot secondary to her just repeatedly punching people in the face, which is great.
Yeah, Ming-Na Wen is so fucking cool in everything.
Yeah.
And you know, also being fucking Mulan.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
fucking what?
Yeah.
And the fact that this woman is 60 years old.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Wen.
Yeah.
I say this with all of the respect and all of the love. Kindly go fuck yourself.
Because you're making the rest of us look terrible.
How fucking dare you look that good at 60 and I look like this at 38? That's bullshit.
So, in case anyone's curious, Lil frequently looks like garbage. So,
yeah, no, I look homeless. I do.
Like, no, that actually is like their aesthetic is like
homeless.
Yeah. And,
homeless grunge.
And it's never if I didn't know you, I would think for a second, are they homeless? Like
no, and that's fair. That's like a fair assumption.
They could be.
Because like, I don't I
that
don't care.
That cup looks expensive, but the way you're dressed makes me think that like you didn't have another option.
Yeah.
So
I don't, because look, if I'm not going somewhere nice, I don't need to look nice.
I think the way I described your current look is greasy.
90s grunge is what I go for.
Yeah.
90s
which
grunge.
Is, greasy.
Yeah. Like, have they bathed? Yeah. I did, yes. I have bathed.
I did too.
But
it's Ming-Na Wen and Michelle Yeoh are the two performers who, in their respective, one in Star Trek, one in Star Wars, have basically dominated the franchise since they joined it.
Yeah. And they can both go fuck themselves
they're both
for looking so good.
Incredible. Fennec Shan is a great character.
She's so fucking cool.
Is just such a cool character.
Oh my God. She's so cool.
I very much enjoy the fact that she's a sniper.
Yep.
And then we see the second big example of Beskar armor doing exactly what it's supposed to do, but not. It still hurts him.
Yeah.
He's still getting hit with a blaster bolt at high speed.
Yeah.
It didn't penetrate, but that's still getting kicked in the chest by a horse.
Yeah, exactly.
I also very much enjoy the fact that she then spun off into the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get into as well, because that's a brilliant, brilliant show.
Yeah, I really liked it.
And I mean, I mean, it's brilliant. I have no notes.
It's so good.
The way season 1 ends really deserves a lot longer than we're going to give it. Like I said, at this point, we don't really know if Grief Karga is friend or foe. He definitely works for the Bounty Hunters Guild. He's definitely annoyed at Din Djarin for, running off on a bounty. But he does give him a chance to, I don't want to say do the right thing, because it's not, but to, make good on the bounty. And Din Djarin basically tells him to go fuck himself, which is the correct response. And then comes what appears to be the most one-sided fight in the history of fights, is Din Djarin being shot at by literally everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm watching this going, I mean, Star Wars has done some weird things over the years, but are they going to kill their lead character at the end of their first season? Because, I've seen, Filoni's done some weird shit. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like even that would be too much for Dave.
I don't know. I mean, you saw the end of Clone Wars. Like,
Look. Unfortunately, that needed to go somewhere. It was leading to something.
but then the coolest rescue in the history of Star Wars appears when an army of Mandalorian soldiers comes out of nowhere. Like,
so good.
it's brilliant finish. Now, remember they're all pretty pissed at Din at this point.
Yeah.
He's kind of walked away from their group for this what they think is a stupid quest. But this is another big part of the Mandalorian culture. They are Mandalorians. They watch out for each other.
This is the way.
Yep. They keep saying that over and over in the show, and I've heard people say, it must mean this or it must mean that. It means whatever it needs to mean when it's said.
In that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not mean one thing. It means whatever it needs to mean in that moment.
Right.
But at its core, basically what they're saying is these are the tenets we adhere to. It is our way.
Yep.
That's what it means.
Yep.
The not taking your helmet off thing, like the very, living apart from others, all that. I guess you could call them like ultra orthodox Mandalorians, I guess would be a way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's probably the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they show up, the rest of these Mandalorians, especially big dude in big ass armor with a fucking chain gun.
John Favreau.
Yeah.
That's John Favreau.
Yeah.
You can tell because John Favreau is a massive dude.
John Favreau is a very, very large man.
Yes, he's a big guy.
Actually, I'm now looking it up.
Hang on. I got it up. Kolia is his middle name.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
John Favreau is 6'1". If you hear typing, it's because we're both very curious about this.
Big dude.
So he's a Libra, in case anyone's curious.
He is a Libra. He was October 19th.
6'1", he weighs 200 pounds.
But he's very broad.
Yeah.
He's a broad guy.
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal is not a very big dude.
So, well, also, using the like Mandalorian armor, they made him look a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that, like, cinematically, the scene was incredible. The scene was brilliantly done.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian. So Din Djarin's trying to get back to his ship. He's basically taking dozens of shots in the armor because it's meant to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I keep harping on the armor thing, but basically anyone you see in armor in a movie, the armor is usually decorative and they're going to get killed through it regardless. Finally, one's not.
Yeah.
Like, fucking finally. Also, if you ever want to, laugh at anything, look at experts reviewing medieval armor in movies because these are historical experts who basically spend 20 minutes just shitting on every movie ever made because every ounce of the armor is shown is wrong.
I think one of my favorites to watch is a dude who does like sword fighting for a living, and
I've seen the one you're talking about. Yeah,
he watched 7, 8, and 9, and basically just shat on how Rey and Kylo fucking use the lightsabers. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
like the whole time. He's like, "No, that's not how you wield any kind of weapon.
That's not how you wield a stick."
Like, why are you doing like? Going above your head like that is going to give your enemy the perfect opportunity to go for the stuff. What are you doing?
If you swing your sword above your head, you will get stabbed in the chest.
It's so
and
fucking
you will
funny.
deserve it.
It's so fucking funny to me.
But tangents are a thing. You're listening to this, you know that. What I very much enjoy about the end of season 1 is that, and I got this wrong earlier. I said IG-88. It's IG-11. But
yeah.
Sorry, I read a novel recently.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're good. I said Ming-Na Wen's name wrong a second ago.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We make mistakes. Me more than them, but yeah.
That's true. I also have only had 3 cups of coffee today, which is very low for me.
Yeah,
so I'm going to blame that.
I'm trying to cut back on coffee, and I'm pretty sure after today I'm going to give up on that. So, yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, because I'm insane, apparently.
Disgusting.
At the end of season 1, this is chapter 8. The title is called Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Who eventually saves the child is IG-11. This is one of those so a little bit of, we're assuming you've seen the show if you're listening to this. This is, IG-11's been, salvaged, restored, reprogrammed.
And is a nanny.
To a nanny droid, yeah. Which is hilarious.
It's so cute.
But at the very end, Gideon has Karga, Din Djarin, Cara Dune trapped in a building.
Yes.
And a bunch of stormtroopers outside, and he's basically saying, hey, give me the child or I'll kill you. As we learned from all the rest of Star Wars, it takes about approximately 20 stormtroopers to equal a main character.
What I really liked about that finale, aside from several things, was that they actually got the 501st.
Yep.
And I desperately want to be in the 501st Legion. So if anyone is listening to this and is part of the 501st, help. I want to be part of this. I want to do it, but I don't have the money for movie accurate stormtrooper armor.
So for anyone confused, the extras playing all the
stormtroopers
are from a group called the 501st Legion, who cosplay the 501st Clone Regiment.
The clone regiment that killed all the fucking younglings.
Yeah. Mistakes were made.
It's fine. It's fine. But I would love to be part of the 500. I've met a couple of people from the 501st.
So have I.
And they're very cool. And I'm like, I want to do it too. And they're like, it's real hard because you have to get, it has to be movie accurate armor. And I'm like, I don't make that kind of money, guys. So if anyone can help me with that, that'd be super. Because I really want to be in the 501st Legion. Because I want to be an extra on Star Wars too.
So, real quick, because we were trying to keep these episodes to under an hour 20 and failing at that miserably.
You could fucking edit them.
Yeah, but why would I do that? We're funny.
Fair enough. Well, I'm funny.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm going to release an episode with nothing but your audio tracks. See if anyone laughs. Yeah. At the end, so they managed to escape the 501st Legion and Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you have to remember that Gideon has a TIE fighter. He landed in a TIE fighter, which... I mean, Gideon is basically the new drama queen. Vader was the old Imperial drama queen because he is. He lands in a TIE fighter. Karga, IG-11, the child, Cara Dune, they escape into this lava tunnel. I mean, not the ideal place to escape to. Tunnel full of lava.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
They managed to get out, and IG-11, being the greatest nanny droid in the history of the galaxy, detonates himself to save them.
So,
and I don't mean he just blew up.
Yeah.
Good God.
Well, so prior to that, Din had an injury. He had a head injury, and he was bleeding. And
yes,
IG-11 was like, I have to take off your helmet. And he's like, no. And he's like, cool, you will die if I don't. And he goes, you can't tell anyone. He goes, I never saw a thing. Yep. And so he takes off Din's helmet. That's the first time that we see Din in all of his beautiful fucking glory. And I literally was like, oh, there he is. The helmet came off and I went, there's my man. Look, he has made his way onto the short list of men that I would marry. And so far, he's the only single one. So
So in case anyone's curious, Lil's been with her partner for
11 years.
Yeah, and has no intention of marrying their partner.
No, not at all.
Not because Lil doesn't,
No, I care about him.
Yeah.
I just don't want to marry him.
It's just not. Honestly, I think marriage is
Disgusting.
I mean, they're tax benefits, I guess.
Are they that good though?
I mean, they're all right, but
No, they're not that great.
they're fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. I would still file separately.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would too, but yeah.
So if I'm saying that I would marry somebody, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But the problem is most of the people on that list, which is not a very long list, are all married already.
3 on it? 4 on it? 4?
There's 4 now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And Pedro is the only one that is single.
Hey, Pedro. I mean, you've heard the offer.
Hello.
I can vouch for the fact that they do not always look like a greasy hobo.
No,
So,
I don't. I'm actually very pretty.
They clean up very well.
Yeah, I'm actually really pretty.
Just not for me because we're just friends and like.
Yeah,
why
I
waste
don't.
the time
Why?
on that?
Why am I trying? I'm not trying to impress you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, honestly, if you showed up here all dolled up, I would be suspicious.
I will only start dolling up if we start doing these on video.
Yeah.
That's when I will
Yeah.
start putting on makeup.
If you showed up like all dressed up just for an audio recording, I would not be like, "Oh, you look nice." I'd be like, why are you doing that? And am I going to live through whatever the answer is? Like I'd be worried.
I would have to be doing something else afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only way.
I know you well enough to know that generally if you do something that I'm not expecting,
Yeah.
the safest bet for me is to fear for my safety first.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually do, and I'll elaborate on this story later. But I do have a scar because of you, like an actual scar. Like,
Yeah, we're not talking about that on
no,
this
we're
one.
not. But you know what I'm talking
I
about.
do.
I do have an actual scar. It's visible. Like, yeah. Like,
Anyway, so yes, Pedro Pascal is on that list of people I would marry because he's a lovely human. He's talented. He's handsome.
have you seen his Hot Ones episode?
Yes, yes. And we love a man. We love a man who is bilingual. Obviously, he is Chilean and speaks Spanish. And we also love a man who respects people's pronouns. He has a transgender sister.
Who is a delightful human being.
Oh, she's wonderful.
She is, a
Yeah,
genuinely
she's
delightful human being.
Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
She is stunning. Oh my God. Christ almighty.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Like the first time I saw her, I was like, excuse me. Do good looks run in this family?
I mean, clearly they do.
My
Like,
God.
I mean, look at one next to the other. The answer is yes. Like,
Woo! I'll take either one of you, thank you. Shit. Woo! Hello.
I really am going to have to get like a hose or a spray
Yeah.
bottle in here. Like,
But also, his co-star on Last of Us is a non-binary actor, and before they came out, he would, he referred to them as she because that was, they are AFAB, assigned female at birth. That's what that stands for.
Yeah.
And when they came out, he immediately made the switch.
Yeah.
And was like, they're my buddy. That's it. End of story.
Pronouns aren't hard.
No, they're fucking not.
I fuck them up a lot because I've known Lil for 15 years.
Yeah.
And some of it's reflexive.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
But like we love a man who respects pronouns, and the fact that he was so quick to change for Bella was such a beautiful thing for
Yeah.
me.
Guys, honestly, if anyone listening to this is at all iffy about people with changing pronouns, it's not that hard. Like,
It's not hard.
you don't
and
have to agree with it. Just
respect it.
It's not yours.
Yeah.
Like,
If you disrespect my pronouns, and you're a man, I'm gonna call you Barbara. And if you say, well, that's not my name, and be like, cool, and I'm not a she. Like,
fucking love that.
not fucking.
That's so great.
It's not fucking difficult. One of the things that I do.
So good.
So my second job is a fitness instructor, and I always introduce myself to newer students. I'm like, I'm Lilith. My pronouns are they, them. Thank you in advance. If that's difficult for you to make the, switch, you can also call me Captain. So, because my friends call me Captain. So there we go.
That's actually genius.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, because anyone can be a captain.
Yeah.
It's non-gendered.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel like if I met Pedro and was like, hi, my pronouns are they, them, he would immediately be like, done. And I'd be like, oh my God, marry me. Please, and use your bedroom voice.
So back to the character he plays with the bedroom voice.
One of my favorite things is when he does the voiceover. Because so in season 1, he was in the costume most of the time.
Yeah.
Season 2 and 3, he was not as much because he was also doing Last of Us.
Yeah. But that actually works out okay because a lot of times he has his helmet on.
Yeah, so it didn't really matter.
As long as he could show up and do the voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he was doing the voiceover, he would hold a pillow.
Like it was Grogu?
Like it was Grogu.
Yep.
And it was, like, there's, like, behind-the-scenes video of him, like, doing the voice and holding this pillow. And I'm like, I fucking can't with this man. Why is he perfect? Why is this the most perfect man?
Lil, can we come back to
He's perfect.
to the show he's in?
Tell him to stop being perfect, and I'll stop talking about how perfect he is.
I don't know him, so like I can't do that.
God. Start working for Disney so you can know him.
I might not have we covered this in the little short about you going to Gauss's Edge.
Yeah.
I only have a little bit of dignity left, but just enough to not do that. Like, I do have standards. Hey, Disney, unless you want to hire me as a screenwriter, in which case I have no standards and I will absolutely work for you. So,
I have no standards.
Just saying. This is a comedy podcast. Please hire me. But I do love that the only thing he was willing to show his face to at the end of the season was a droid.
And it was a droid that, saved his life.
Yeah.
And
a droid that also is not... This is kind of one of the things people forget about the Star Wars universe. Droids are programmed.
Yeah.
IG-88 is programmed to keep confidences. He's not going... If he's ordered not to reveal something he saw, he won't. That's how his programming works. It's a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Din Djarin orders him not to tell anyone what he sees when he takes the helmet off, which made me think we were going to see something really weird, and then took the helmet off. It's just Pedro Pascal. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's okay.
That's not a bad view.
It's not, but like you made it sound like it was going to be really weird, and it's just
no. It's just that's
dude.
that's his culture.
Yeah. So it was the only person that could save him and see his face. IG-11 does that.
Yep. And we can't forget the fireball that happened, and then Grogu doing his adorable little Force hando.
Was that the end of season 1 or season 3?
Season 1.
Oh, with the
fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it happened season 3 too, but yeah,
it did happen in season 3, but like
much more spectacularly, by the way.
Yes.
Which we will get to.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes in like all of Star Wars, because that is the definition of overkill, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah.
But
no, in season 1, he does the fireball, like holding it back,
and then he gets all sleepy again.
and then he goes, "I'm sleepy now."
Yeah.
And then takes a nap.
I mean, in reality, he's exhausted and passes out.
He's so tired. It takes so much out of him.
So he's not sleepy and takes a nap. He's exhausted and falls unconscious.
Which, I mean, is fair because, like, he's so little. He's just a little baby.
So when they get out of the lava tunnel, they're still being pursued by, a problematic number of stormtroopers.
What?
Like...
No.
To which IG-11 then has the brilliant idea.
Yes.
well, they wouldn't be chasing you if they were somehow incinerated by, I don't know, an almost comically large explosion.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone's looking at him like, well, how do we get one of those? And like, I tell them this, well, funny thing, I can do that.
Guess what I can do?
Yeah. And
Look what I can do.
yeah. Look what I can do. Kaboom! And so he goes back into the tunnel and has his, hero moment.
Yeah.
And like I said, a comically large explosion ensues.
It's very comically large. It's very funny.
Like, I expected a big old boom.
Yeah.
Good God.
It was literally. It was a Michael Bay
Yeah.
type of explosion. It was so good.
And also, this is the episode, Taika Waititi directed this episode.
So of course it was going to be over the top.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Generally, he's not my favorite director. In this moment,
He was great.
This episode, brilliantly done.
So good.
And we think for a moment, oh, our heroes are saved now. And then, of course, Gideon has to show up being a dick in his TIE fighter. Which, I mean, Gideon's kind of a dick. Like,
no, he's a major dick. Yeah.
But what Gideon forgot is that Din has a new toy at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Din has a jetpack.
Yeah, he does.
He's
Finally
like,
gets his jetpack.
and he's like, oh, your TIE fighter can fly? Cool. So can my armor, bitch. Like, and we get a really cool ending to this first season.
yeah.
Gideon does not die. He cuts himself free of the Stormtrooper with the Darksaber, which... we're going to get into that.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Because I know fans would have like rioted, but if he'd used the Darksaber in that one scene and then they'd never mentioned it ever again, it would
Yeah.
have been hilarious.
It would have been pretty funny. Yeah.
And I can see Filoni doing that.
It's like, hey, remember that thing? Yeah, we're not talking about it. We're just not.
Yeah, because why?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to. I don't need a
Because I
reason beyond that.
fucking didn't feel like it.
Yeah. I mean, he's bringing back a canonically dead character literally for no other reason than because he wants to. Like, which we're going to get into later as well.
I don't like that ending. I'm going to change it.
Yeah. I mean, he literally is the keeper of the lore. Like,
he is.
he can do what he wants.
Yeah, you can. I support it.
I do love that season end had a very satisfying resolution to like that, all that action.
Mm-hmm.
But really made almost no progress in getting Grogu back to the Jedi.
No.
Like,
No, it didn't.
Basically
No, it didn't.
none.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
basically, the whole thing was Din Djarin wandering around going, is there a jet? No. Oh.
Jedi! Jedi!
Anyone?
Bueller!
And then, all the yelling attracted stormtroopers. He's like, oh, damn. Fucking shit.
Oh, no.
It's fine. Their armor's made of styrofoam. Like, which, I mean, yeah.
It's bad.
Um,
Yeah, it's real bad.
but it really did. Yes, it left the story open, but didn't leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
As a writer and someone who enjoys movies and TV, I hate cliffhangers so much, especially in the world of streaming now, because it takes 2 years to get a new season of something.
Yeah. Sometimes longer.
Good God. But this was perfectly done. It wrapped up the events of season 1. It closed them off while still leaving the quest in front of them. I gotta say, it was perfectly done. The whole show, start to finish, was just brilliant. Like,
Yep.
even a somewhat problematic actress played a great character.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I mean, Carl Weathers, rest in peace. You brilliant son of a bitch.
Incredible.
It's just, I literally have no notes. Like, that was perfect. The only thing I wish we'd seen a little bit more of is the Mandalorian, is Din Djarin fighting and a little less of him running away. I get why it worked in the story,
Yeah.
but I do love the fact that he really did make use of his armor. So it's bothering me about a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Most times when I see someone in armor, my first thought is you're going to die because you're wearing that.
Yep.
Like, talking to you, Game of Thrones. Literally everyone in armor immediately dies regardless of the armor. Like,
yeah.
If armor worked that poorly, nobody would use it.
Right.
Like, it's like there being a steering wheel in your car that does not turn your car.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
This, I think, was one of probably my favorite Star Wars thing of all time is still Return of the Jedi. Always will be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what else comes out. It's always going to be Jedi.
Yeah.
This is a very, very close third because it's Return and then Empire.
Obviously.
Yeah. Or Empire then Return. I go back and forth, but yeah.
Sure. As long as it's those two.
Yeah, because those two are the best two.
Yeah.
Like that's not debatable.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, what in the Star Wars universe is better than momentary incest and the Emperor getting yeeted down a tube? Like, that's both those things happen.
They didn't know they were siblings.
That doesn't change the fact that they are.
They wouldn't have done it if they had known.
I don't know. Luke's from the trashiest part of the galaxy, so who knows?
He's from the Alabama of the galaxy.
I mean,
oh my god!
And we don't know what the customs on I was gonna say on Alderaan are, but we're
Eesh.
Too soon.
A little bit.
And I mean, Alderaan could be like the Kentucky of the galaxy. Who knows? Like
Kentucky's not that bad. It's not as bad as Alabama or Arkansas.
Yeah, you're not.
Arkansas.
Congratulations. The one guy listening in Arkansas just turned us off.
Sure.
It's spelled Arkansas. Don't be mad about it. Like,
love how we assume we have listeners all over the place.
I assume that we have. I was gonna say listeners. Listener.
We have at least 4, maybe.
Yeah. Who cares?
Honestly, I do this for me, not for you, you fucks.
Yes, no, seriously, like we do this because we like it. If you guys happen to enjoy it too, that's almost accidental. But yeah, season 1 of The Mandalorian was one of the few TV shows that really left me really desperately wanting a second season.
Well, and I think that something that was very cool and what kind of it proved that you don't need Jedi to make it cool.
Yep.
Although we do kind of get one.
Yeah, sort of.
And we eventually get some laser swords, but it's nothing like the rest of Star Wars. And it just shows that the movies, the newer movies were unnecessary.
Yeah.
They could have easily just done TV shows and it would have worked great.
But I think your first point was the best one. You don't need Jedi for Star Wars to work. The Star Wars universe is so broad. There are so many stories you can tell within it.
Yeah, The Mandalorian is essentially a sci-fi western. It's fucking dope as shit.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it has some great guest stars. I mean, episode 1, Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking oh god, what was his name? He was on SNL. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Who did he play?
I think he played the fish guy.
I'm literally going to Google who played the fish guy. Horatio Sands. Yes.
Horatio Sands. That's it.
Yeah. Again,
Very funny.
Great
and
cameo.
also very fucking random.
Yeah.
Like,
Because why not? But like
so fucking random.
this is and your point I think was absolutely correct. You don't need Jedi for Star Wars to be awesome.
Yeah.
It helps. It's fun, but the universe is so broad that you can tell so many stories within it. You just don't need them. Like, I mean, shit. Book of Boba Fett doesn't mention the Jedi, and it's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean that also might just be because who is in Book of Boba Fett, but yeah, the cast of that show is incredible. But End of Mandalorian did set us up for a really cool season 2, which, as much as I love season 1, because it very much is like you said, the space western. Season 2 goes some really fun places. One in particular, I'm pretty sure that you damn near fainted when you saw.
Well, there are 2 parts that I nearly fainted. One, I cried uncontrollably.
That's, yeah,
And
I
then
know.
the other one, I was like, ah! Because Timothy Oliphant is a fucking babe.
That moment, I really thought we were going to get... We'll go into that in season 2. We're not going to...
Let's not start season 2.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of moments in season 2 that I was very excited. There are a lot of very exciting things.
And we will dive into every last one of them in our next episode, which is going to be on Mandalorian season 2.
Yes.
If you have not seen The Mandalorian and you've made it this far in the episode, I commend you, and I'm confused. Well done. And how bored were you?
Right.
But yeah, highly recommend you watch it or rewatch it. It definitely stands up.
Yeah.
So
good.
You already found us on YouTube at Babylon Bullshit. Follow us on Instagram at Babylon BS. You will be able to see pictures from Lil's trip to Galaxy's Edge. We did a whole episode on that too. Basically, Lil told us that God damn it. At least I corrected myself. That they. Well, hold up. Is it fan person now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think you can still say fangirl. I fangirled because I don't believe that fangirling is a gendered thing, because I've seen guys fangirl.
That's 100% fair.
Like,
Because I've seen the same thing.
I've seen men just be like, so I think fangirling is just a non-gendered
It's
term.
the flushed cheeks, the jazz hands, and the high pitched squealing. Like,
So I don't think that that's gendered. I think that
Yeah.
is just like across the board, anyone can fangirl.
that's 100% fair. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. You found us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify at Babble and Bullshit. Our
Yes.
Patreon is currently a placeholder. We will eventually do something with it. Maybe. Who knows? It's at Babble and Bullshit as well.
If we get enough people listening, we will.
Yeah. This is honestly going to be depending on who's listening. I honestly just signed up for it so we can reserve the name. But
No one else can have it.
yes, because Babble and Bullshit would be one that people are going to dive all over.
And
Honest to God, a little bit surprised it was available. But you can find our other series, Hopeless and Bitter, also on YouTube, Spotify, and links on our Instagram. If you message the Instagram, you'll be talking to Lil because, I mean, I would just forget to respond.
I do the social media thing.
Yeah, I would see your messages and then be like, oh yeah, I'll message them back as soon as I do this thing, and then,
And then you
8
never
days
do.
later be like,
You
oh,
barely
shit.
message me back.
Yeah, which, I mean, why would I?
No, that's fair.
We basically communicate in memes. Like that's
Yeah.
basically how it works, and it works. All right.
It does.
But episodes go up on Sundays, usually around 5 p.m., and we hope you guys join us for the next one. We will see you guys next time. Enjoy your Super Bowl. It is currently Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
I just hope both teams have fun.
Hey, I'm just excited to see what happens
Also, go 49ers.
in between, shots of Taylor Swift.
Actually,
So,
I heard that she is not allowed
to what?
to be there.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, the NFL said no.
That's the stupidest thing they could have possibly done. Like,
I don't know how true that is. I just saw a headline that said the NFL has said that Taylor Swift's not allowed. I just find that very funny.
There's a post on Twitter. I know it's called X. Shut up. It's Twitter. Someone put up a very formal looking announcement that said that because Taylor Swift would be delayed in Japan and wouldn't be able to make it back for the Super Bowl on Sunday, the game would be delayed till Monday.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
When I got to it, there were over 5,000 comments, most of them from very angry, like, incel man babies screaming about how it's...
Look, I
lost my damn mind laughing at that shit.
I personally am not a fan of Taylor Swift. I don't like her. I also don't give a fuck who she's dating because just let the woman fucking live her goddamn life and have a relationship.
If they're enjoying dating, they're enjoying dating. Personally,
who fucking cares?
The only reason that I give a shit about Travis Kelce at all is because I went to the University of Cincinnati for college. So did he, and he played on their football team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We have that little connection in common, which is basically nothing. Because I went there significantly before he did.
Right, yeah, because he's fucking 12.
And I'm, old. I got served at the grocery store yesterday, and I got sad. I didn't like that.
But yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
About any of it.
If you enjoy the Super Bowl, glad you do.
I hope you enjoy it.
I hope both teams football well.
I go 49ers because I just want to see Patrick Mahomes cry.
I mean, he'd do that if he wins.
Look,
so
I said
really
what
matter.
I said. No, I want him to cry sad tears.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they sustain me.
I'm just gonna watch the commercials. So
they've not been good for several years.
The Paramount one has already come out, and
I've seen that. That one's pretty good.
Brilliant.
That one's pretty good.
Because nothing is funnier than Drew Barrymore making a very disappointed face and going, "Oh, look, it's Creed." Is a fair response. But guys, please join us for our next episode of the Nerdcast. It's going to be Mandalorian Season 2. And if you would like to get some relationship advice from people who are wildly unqualified,
I don't know why you would want to, but by all means.
Please join us for Hopeless and Bitter. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you guys next time.
I've been Lilith.
I've been Will, and thank you guys for listening.
Bye.